Hey guys, welcome back to the Journey Principles. I'm your host, Steven Scoggins, where we help you go from stuck to unstoppable by helping you master every single area of your life. In today's lesson, I actually want to teach you something that was taught to me at a very early time in my youth, and that is the 8 pillars of life mastery. The 8 pillars of life mastery are the 8 areas that you've got to master if you really want to win in your life and actually make the most of it. So let's go ahead and jump into that real fast. All right, here we go. As you can see, we've got them all listed up here for you, but they're listed in a specific way and stacked on each other for a specific reason. And that is because the first 4 are what I like to refer to as the foundational pillars, okay? Right? The foundational pillars are ones that you've got to secure first. And the reason you have to secure those first is because the other ones are built on top of that. For example, if your financial life is a wreck and you're having a really hard time making ends meet, it's going to be really, really hard to start developing a life impact or a contribution. And it's going to give you difficulties in your relationships, and it's probably going to make you not really want to try very hard to develop yourself, for example, okay? The same thing happens here with physical life. If your health is bad and your health is not taking you where you want to go, then obviously you're not going to be able to focus on the other ones, okay? Same thing. Emotional life, your overall emotional health, self-esteem, perspective on who you are, your identity, things of those natures, right? Spiritual life. Now, when I say spiritual life, don't get it misconstrued. I'll actually spit that out in just a second, but don't get it misconstrued. While I am a person of faith and I am a Christian and I love Jesus with all my heart, I realize you may not actually share my sentiment. But what you can do is you can apply your spiritual life to your overall sense of faith, resilience, and perseverance, right? All of these areas need to be secure first. So what I invite you to do first and foremost is I want you to rank yourself 1 to 10 on how awesome you're doing in that segment right now. So 1 means, oh my gosh, please help me, I need help now, right? 10 meaning, shoot, I got this. Man, I've got this nailed, okay? That kind of deal. So in your financial life, in your overall financial health, how tight are you? How far along are you in your current financial life? Are you where you want to be, or you got a long ways to go? And if so, what would you put that number on? So right now, in my current sphere of influence, I'll go ahead and throw my numbers up here. I'm about an 8. I'm pretty close to where I want to be financially at this stage in the game, right? I didn't get there overnight, but that's where I'm at today. In my physical life, your physical life, same thing, 1 to 10. Where are you at right now? Are you happy with your overall health and maybe your athletics or your overall sense of well-being, right? Are you eating the right things? Are you working out? Are you doing some of those things? Where are you at right now? Well, for me, I'm sitting at about an 8, right? I want to bulk up a little bit. I want to maybe lose a little bit of this jelly roll that I started developing as a dad, right? But I still got a little ways to go, but I'm pretty consistent, pretty happy where I'm at, okay? In your emotional life, 1 to 10. Where are you at right now with your emotional life? In your sense of self-esteem and sense of identity and self-worth. Where are you at right now, right? I'm at a pretty good place in my life. There's always room for improvement, so I'm gonna go ahead and give myself an 8 there as well, okay? What's your number? Where are you at? Are you doubting yourself on a regular basis? Are you self-sabotaging yourself on a regular basis? Maybe your number won't be quite as high. Maybe it'll be a lot higher than mine, but it's important that you actually take the time to jot that down. All right, same thing. 1 to 10, spiritual life. How often do you push through and persevere and keep going? When you get knocked down, how quickly do you get back up? How often are you spending time praying, meditating, getting your center, kind of getting really grounded, right? For me, this is one area that I'm really super passionate about, so I would say I'm at a 9, right? I want to make sure that I'm connecting to the divine source and I'm super resilient. I've been knocked down so many times, I've had no choice but to get back up, right? So go ahead and list those out. Now, once we've identified and we've got these really secure, then we can really focus on the next 4, okay? I consider the next 4 structural pillars, right? The reason they're structural is because they will actually help us with choice, making choices, okay? Once you got the first 4 secure, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna focus on the structural pillars, right? You're gonna start really kind of determining, is my career what I want? Am I actually being authentic to myself? Am I taking the time to really apply myself and actually become the person I want to be in my career, right? It took me for a long time in starting several companies to uncover the fact that I was a natural born entrepreneur. and the fact that I like to take risks and I like to build businesses and I love to build teams. That took a little while. That wasn't always like top of mind. You know, I started in the construction industry where I had to actually learn how to use my hands, to learn how to use my head, to learn how to use my heart, right? You may not see the actual finished product right now, but if you at least get a sense of idea of where you're at right now in your overall career or the direction your career is heading, you'll understand how quickly you're pursuing your authentic passion in a professional role, right? So again, we're gonna do the 1 to 10 scenario. We're gonna figure out where we're at, because we need to figure out where we're at to figure out where we're going. All right, I'm gonna skip this one just for a second. Relational life, right? Relationships come in a lot of different formats. So when I say relational life, I'm really kind of leaning into 3 key areas. Romantic relationships, in other words, do you have a significant other maybe that you're really super close to? Your actual friendships, your coworkers, things of that nature, and then your family relationships, right? Now, I'm gonna do an entire video on relationships alone, so make sure you stick around to hear more about that, because you need to make sure you're surrounded by the right people. But in the meantime, where are you at today? How are your relationships adding value or subtracting value on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you at right now with your relationships, right? How significant do you feel inside of those relationships, right? Again, 1 to 10. If I go back and put my number professional life, man, I love what I'm doing right now. I really love helping people. I love helping them see breakthrough, right? I love helping people build businesses. I love doing that stuff, so I'm super passionate. Maybe you figured that out, right? Relational life, I've worked really, really hard on my relationships, so I'd probably say I'm probably an 8 in this category here right now. I've got some room for improvement. I'm looking for some additional mentors to help me go to a much higher level as an entrepreneur, right? All right, so I'm gonna slow down for this next one because this one's really, really important. Personal development, AKA growth. How hard and how focused are you actually going after growing to the person you want to be? Are you sitting on the couch eating Lay's potato chips, or are you reading books, spending time with mentors, plotting out a course, right? Be honest with yourself right now. Do you pick up the video game controller? I'm gonna tell you what, that video game controller, man, that was the worst thing for me for the longest time. I love a good Assassin's Creed, right? And it would make me interrupt my entire growth process, right? Where are you at, 1 to 10, your overall personal development, right? This is one area here that we can really help you in and we would love to help you in. All right, now comes one of the most important, that the whole reason you do all of this, right? The whole reason you master your financial life, your physical life, your emotional life, your spiritual life, the whole reason you lean into your professional career, that you maximize your relationships to make sure you're getting the right ones at the right time, and the reason you develop yourself, right? And that's because of purpose. You see, I learned a long time ago that the greatest purpose you'll ever have in your entire life is serving the person you used to be. But in order for you to used to be something, you've got to become something more. And you're capable of it. I know you are. And I'm happy to keep giving you content to make that a reality. But the reason you do that is because you want to make a life impact and a contribution. You may make all the money in the world, buy all the fancy cars, have all the nice homes, travel all over the place, but if you don't make an impact on your deathbed, as morbid as that sounds, you're gonna feel like you didn't do anything, right? Contrast that to actually doing all of that, developing yourself, learning from things that you actually experience, and the person that you used to be, you can now go back and uniquely talk directly to their heart, uniquely because you understand them like nobody else. You've got this. The 8 pillars of life, if you'll take the time to identify where you are, create a plan to move you forward, and then go after it like your life depends on it, because it does, right? If you do those things with the 8 pillars of life mastery, you will make a difference for yourself and the world around you. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Take care. That's about all the time we have for today's whiteboard lesson. Hopefully I gave you some real value that you begin to put away right now. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to dig even deeper, I put together a free ebook called The 5 Must-Have Principles for a Personal Breakthrough. If your goal is to make change in any area of your life, these 5 principles are absolutely necessary if you want to make that progress lasting. You can access that by clicking the link in the description below this video. All right, you're up.